we've got to pick who we want. We can be selective in who we want. But if there's people at our club that are good enough, you'll have them.
Kenny Dalglish has money to spend, and he's smiling again at football matches these days, which is something of a miracle when you think about that astonishing resignation from Liverpool in February last year. Disillusioned with the game in which he'd been outstanding as both a player and a manager. But only a few months later, after endless rounds of recreational golf, he was enticed back to the game by Blackburn Rovers, one of the 12 founder members of the league, a sleeping giant with an immense heritage and what now seems to be an exciting future ahead. When Dalglish took over just a year ago, he was promised almost an open checkbook by the club's benefactor Jack Walker, the 9th richest man in Britain who made his millions in the steel industry. The first priority was promotion to the new Premier League, and they looked odds-on to achieve that until a dismal late run meant they only just squeezed into the playoffs. They'd failed at that stage 3 times previously and only just achieved their ambition in the most dramatic of manners.
This could be the moment Blackburn have been waiting for. With an injury time at the end of the first half, Manuel then against Carl Middleton. Hewlett is goal!
Blackburn Rovers back among the elite for the first time since 1966 and now looking forward to adding more silverware to their splendid boardroom. Dalglish is spending Walker's millions carefully and he's fully appreciative of the financial backing that he's getting.
When managers are appointed and they're told there's no money, they say, well, how can they improve it? So they moan about not having any money. They moan about us having some money. But the guy who's a benefactor has done a tremendous job for Blackburn, and without that, they'd never been in this position. So initially the finance was made available by Jack Walker, which everybody totally appreciates. But he's made his money by being sensible and shrewd, and he'll not be held to ransom over anybody, either in transfer fees or wages.
It's all a far cry from Blackburn's rather humble but incredibly successful infancy. They were always known as a cup side, winning the trophy 5 times in 8 years before the turn of the century, and incredibly 3 times in a row before the Football League was founded in 1888. They won the league for the very first time in 1912, and again 2 years later, but they've never been in a better position to win that title again until this season. Jack Walker only acquired a controlling interest in the club last year, and now his 2 passions are football and flying. He owns Jersey European Airways. But before Walker's arrival, Blackburn's last successful era was the late 50s, early 60s, when the now sugar daddy was just a fan on the terraces, and his 2 favourite players were Ronnie Clayton and Brian Douglas. In fact, Douglas remembers Walker in those days only too well.
He's always been a winner, as Jack. I didn't know him that well, but I know he's always a winner. I remember sort of doing a card game, a little card trick on him and winning. I won, ended up having to pay me 50p. It was 10 bob in those days. And that was about 2:30 one afternoon. And I couldn't get away from him. We played a variety of other games, darts, dominoes, you name it. And I ended up in the local golf club playing snooker. He beat me at snooker to get his, until he got his money back, and then he allowed me to go home.
Every club's out looking for a miracle man, and we've got Jack Walker. I'm sure every club would want a Jack Walker back in them. And I'm sorry that a lot of clubs won't be able to do that. But we're so fortunate because it's made such a tremendous difference to Blackburn itself, to the town itself. I've never known for a long time that Blackburn's been buzzing. Everybody's talking about it. You can go out of town and it's all Blackburn Rovers and Jack Walker and all this. Every week something's different going on. They're either buying a new player or they're getting a new stand or they're doing something else. And it's been an absolutely wonderful year.
The last time the town was this excited was in 1960 when Rovers met Wolves in the Cup final, an occasion that ended in disappointment.
I know Brian let me for the first time 3 months ago, I asked him, could I borrow the video of it? And I had a look, and I couldn't believe that that was the type of game it was.
Wembley for the big match, and about 100,000 people there to see it. But first, the ceremonial. Blackburn Rovers in tracksuits come out with Wolverhampton Wanderers for their formal presentation to His Royal Highness the Duke of Gloucester. Cup final tradition is maintained. Then, with the ball on the spot, there's something of an innovation. The exchange of banners between Bill Slater Wolves and Ronnie Clayton. Rovers in half-shirts kick off, and in good cricket weather, the star football match is on. Wolves' forward line was soon in action with Dealey, Stobart and Murray featuring in a good movement. Then a cross from Flowers sent Stobart away. In came his perfect centre, and it was a goal. It was an own goal by McGrath, in fact. Soon after this, Dave Whelan was in collision and was seriously injured. What shocking luck.
There was no substitutes in those days. With Dave Whelan breaking his leg, and I know for a fact that Derek Dugan wasn't fit, so we're really down to 9 men. Now, 9 men at Wembley, you've no chance.
Wolves attacking now, and after 20 minutes, a centre from Horn gave Dealey the chance he wanted, 2-0. And Wolves working away to make certain of taking the cup to Molineux. Wolves, not content even yet, were rewarded in the last minutes with another from Dealey. Oh, that's torn it, that's our lot. True enough, and soon Bill Slater was leading his pack along to collect cup and medals. Back in their dressing room, Ronnie Clayton, Blackburn skipper, made a point of congratulations. Fair enough.
I have a loser's medal somewhere at home, but
Somewhere?
I never look at it.
No, I've never seen it. I've never seen it. Isn't it funny?
There's only, you only remember winners.
For the most part, Blackburn have been winners this season, and the Dalglish signing who's made more impact than any other is Alan Shearer, a £3 million man worth his weight in gold.
I'm not going to tell my weaknesses in case there's any defenders watching out there. Strengths, I don't know, I'd hopefully get my fair share of goals every season. I would never say I was a prolific goal scorer. Hopefully the lads will vouch for me and say that I bring other players into the game, and I work very hard.
He's a super fella, he's a lovely lad, so he is. What's amazed me more so than anything else is that he's only just turned 22 there, but he's very, very mature, both on and off the field. And as you say, to hold the price tag of 3.3 or 3.5, whatever it was, you know, he bears it very lightly indeed.
His attitude to scoring goals is like, in my time, Brian Clough, if you will. And Brian Clough was a different type of player, but his attitude to scoring goals is that I mean, he's just one thing on his mind.
That's right.
I don't think he's a lad that you will be picking the ball up and going past players. I mean, he does with strength, but not with trickery, I don't think. But he looks to me a great finisher.
And let's face it, Brian, he's only 22.
Yeah, his attitude is fabulous.
He is. He's even a hard tackler, you know, and he doesn't shirk anything. Now, this is, for me, a good-born centre forward, if you can call it a striker. I think he's a very, very good player. And when he gets to a mature age of about 27 or something, he'll be even better still.
I mean, he scored his second goal for England. And I don't think he got enough credit for it, because if you watch him from behind, he changes sides. They were blaming bad defending. And the guy was sort of had his eye on Alan seconds before, but he sort of changed and went in the other side of him and met the ball perfectly for me to score that goal.